Yeah, we are in the home stretch now, Froskurinn. Are you ready for game number 2? World Elite LGD. Oh my god.
I better be ready for it. I hear I missed a pentakill.
You did miss a pentakill. I'm sorry you were indisposed at the time. Wei Xiao is amazing. That was an incredible performance from him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the MVP. In fact, I would expect him to get the MVP for this game. Although what really enabled it actually was, and there he is right there. I mean, look at that, 19, 3, and 7. The pentakill was just the tip of the iceberg for that one. Apparently his Corki play is a little strong, maybe.
Oh, Wei Xiao, you cannot nerf him out. Of course, the 4.10 patch definitely showing strong on him. I mean, to come out, what, 4.10 first week in China, he gets a pentakill?
Yeah, I feel like, especially now that there's been a lot of time to figure it out in other regions, China's probably already ready for the 4.10 patch, and at this point, they're just rocking and rolling with it.
They do a lot of prep work. There has been in the past where Chinese will play compositions that aren't necessarily, or patch dependent to a patch coming up, so it wouldn't surprise me if they had taken the time to prep for this. That guy in the background waving. I actually waved back.
2 of them.
I heard that there was a little bit of a Jarvan helping, though, with that pentakill.
Yes, we're going to discuss maybe the MVP for that match should have been Xuan, as it really assisted in that one. And this is the problem. The Jarvan ult is a double-edged lance. You can't always predict who you're going to trap in the pit and how it's going to shake out at the end of the day. And Xuan really miscalculating that one. And to be honest, he didn't stay alive very, very long in most of those engages. Built a lot of damage, and I feel like a definite weak point on LGD that last game.
Yeah, and I feel this really goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier with Xuan as well, that if he's not on Lee Sin, he tends to underperform. The fact that Lee Sin was banned out from World Elite. This time around, LGD does have the chance for a first pick, so we'll see if maybe that pick will go through the bans, or if World Elite's going to back-to-back 2-0 that Lee Sin and make sure it never gets off the ground.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty solid job in their bot lane this time. PYL definitely on point with the hooks and doing a good job to defend. But they need to structure the composition a little more around that, and I feel like, yeah, they have to prioritize this Lee Sin pick for Xuan. If they manage to get it this time, be a big boon to them. We've seen a lot of the rest. I feel like the rest of LGD has a bit more of a variety in their champion pools, but World Elite, they have to be feeling so confident after that last play. LGD is not a team that you can take incredibly lightly, but they made them look like, really like, somebody just at the yeah, I was gonna say LSPL, but that, you know, LSPL is actually relatively good. So
World Elite Academy,
or World Elite Academy. It was like a scrim match, right?
Although World Elite Academy has gotten a recent, what we're gonna call it, a level up to the roster, bringing over some Korean talent as the Hail Mary to get them through the last half of the split.
The only team. I mean, Axine has really started to pay off for World Elite right now.
Speaking of Axine, the wording of the last, not just the last game, but the split before that, I feel has been really good. Pretty solid. I think we had one Baron that went completely unwarded, that was snuck under the radar, but consistently teams finding those wards in the tri-brushes, in the rivers, a few picks that were made with wards.
Yeah, and the weird thing was that Axine sat on a lot of them when he tried to go in the early game, but it really didn't matter because the rest of the lanes on World Elite, you know, you can talk all you want about how the jungler did a great job, but the jungler has a pretty easy time when all the lanes are winning, right?
Of course. We'll see if World Elite decides to stick with their current strategy, obviously moving Ninja off of the carry mid laner and putting him on that utility mid.
That was a great choice this time.
It works so well for them because now that you just saw, and I'm so mad that I missed that pentakill, Wei Xiao has the power to carry. He is a very good AD carry. Always has been the godfather of the AD carry, kind of the modern style. It created the modern style, which it's now played, now kind of coming back into form. We talk about Cool a lot, OMG's mid laner, and how it would be so great if Cool would just come back to form like how he has at Worlds. OMG would be so strong, but I feel like Wei Xiao gets overshadowed a little bit for how great he was.
And not Wei Xiao, I mean, yeah, he had some problems for a little while, especially when he was adjusting to shot calling. But I think after that performance, unless he tilts really hard this game, and I can't think of like how that would happen, he is just looking to be so strong. I feel like it's safe to say that Wei Xiao is back.
Well, the momentum is definitely there with him. Picks. since I think we're about to
Corky ban incoming.
Corking ban incoming.
I don't know about that for
is
sure,
going to
but-
go back-to-back on Corky, or do you think he's going to mix it up and take the Lucian pick away from XQ? Because so far XQ pretty much found his home on Lucian, and I feel like a big issue with LGD is their champion pools. How easily abused they are. We keep talking about the jungler being abused, not having that Lee Sin, but I think if they focused, like if these bans came across, they could focus the entire team out pretty easily.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely want to focus on the Lee Sin ban. Moreover, any takeaways? They look so strong in general that I feel like there's no need to take the Lucian away from XQ. Yeah, he looked all right on it, and they definitely made some big plays. But Wei Xiao was clearly in the driver's seat for most, if not all, of that entire game. And if they just psych them out by saying, here, you can have exactly what you want, they'll do exactly what SKT did to OMG in the All-Stars.
Wow, shots fired.
It happens. Calls it as I sees it, Frosk. And I think this game is going to look a lot, even better for World Elite. But let's see how the bans go. It's blue side time for LGD, and what are they going to make of it?
Definitely the chance for World Elite to solidify their place in second. Taking that away from Star Home World Cup. Actually, it's tied up now with that 1-1. So we'll see if they're able to go 2-0 here and pick up the 3 points out of the gate. That Twisted Fate being banned away from Ninja there. Yasuo taken away from Wayless.
Yeah, so far targeting at the mid lane. Kale also banned away. Pretty obligatory, but definitely a target. And there's their Lee Sin ban.
The exact
No,
same
for
bans from previous. So nothing's changed up. LGD has the chance here to take the turn. They do have first pick, so they can eliminate a couple of these threats. They could take away the Gragas top, give that to 17. 17.
Oh, a Lulu ban, though.
I like that. We talk about how Ninja's strength has been really found on Lulu, lending his power to Wei Xiao. Not going to get it this time around. We'll see if maybe he backs up towards an Orianna pick. I would love to see a Gragas pick up right here to kind of do a 1-2 punch against Sao Mei and Ninja's strong
So many
points.
mid lane bans. This is crazy. You know, this leaves Braum open again. Do you think LGD first picks this?
I think Gragas is a
Nope.
more better
Oh,
pick.
I forgot about Jax.
Oh no.
Oh no. 17 on Jax. All right then.
See if
That
he
is a
locks
good
it
thing
in.
for LGD. I think he will.
But that opens him up to a lane swap. And do you really want 17, his Jax being abused by Wei Xiao? Because the issue is it opens them up to a lane swap, and they have two different ways to go about it. They can go the 2v1 lane, and they can try to put Jax as deep into the ground as they want. They can put Wei Xiao in the solo farm lane against 17 after he gets the initial EXP advantage on him. So he's pretty safe in that lane, and then you can leave Wei Xiao now looking at the Kog'Maw. You can leave a Kog'Maw, unintended, on Wei Xiao in a lane alone, getting free XP while Braum roams, although I feel with that Braum lock in it is going to be a traditional 2v1 in the lane, as opposed to a roaming support.
Much more likely at this point. I mean, they gave up quite a lot to secure 17, the Jax pick. But what else are you going to contest in the early game? Braum was available. There's no way they can, really pick out Wei Xiao. So I still feel like that was a good choice for LGD. And the later the game goes, the better that they will have it now. Let's see what the rest of their comp structure's around. I feel like they go full late game from here.
They need to bridge their power. I feel like it's going to be an Orianna mid, or some sort of utility-based mid-mage.
Real question is, where does Shuan go?
I wonder if they're having technical issues, and that's why we...
yeah, it looks like, we had to restart the pick ban.
We got
so it'll be the
kicked
same
out.
picks and bans, but, yeah.
What was Wei Xiao's final build for Corky in the last game? Did he go a Trinity route into a Bork?
He did do that, I believe.
Okay.
And actually, he built a Bloodthirster.
As 6th item or
Yes,
4th item?
as 6th item.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
He did not, I mean, it was insane. So Shuan, once again on Jarvan. You'd think they would not trust him with that anymore.
Round 2. We'll see if he's maybe able to not trap his team inside of certain death.
It's okay, Jax leap strike out.
PYL has a lantern. He can lantern
Hey, that's the
someone
wavy
out.
guy. That's the hand waving guy. He's waving again. Sorry, I got distracted by something. So Xiao Mei,
I'm trying to read his lips of where he's from.
he's going to get the hover over for Gragas right now. And we're okay, so Axine this time mixing it up, going over to Elise, and that was neglected the last time as he went on Rengar, and I like this choice.
It's bringing more CC. Rengar, obviously he has like the slow, the what is it called, the Ebola? Ebola?
Ebola is a disease.
Yeah, well I know, that's why, that's the joke there that everyone makes with Rengar.
Oh, it went like over my head.
Oh, you don't have that joke? You've never faced Rengar in the top lane then?
No, I have not played the Ryan Choi. But anyways, look at who's locking in the Corki this time. XQ says, you can do that, so can I. He's actually really taken a long, hard thought about that. This might be a nice choice to counteract the Kog'Maw, just because it's very easy to dip, duck, dive, dodge, and what was that fifth one again?
Dodge.
There we go. And way less looking to get his Orianna pickup too. I like this power spread. Oh wow, they're going to go over to Lucian at the last minute. Once again, XQ. He goes for the comfort pick.
I like the pickup on the Orianna. So ban Lulu, pick up Orianna. What are Ninja's options?
At this point,
There's
Ninja...
no Yasuo.
No?
Please go Jace.
That would just cap the night off of crazy picks.
I would love to see the return of Jace. I actually think he's fairly strong in the recent patch, especially with Nidalee getting, not nerfed, but changed. Her position has now kind of changed in the meta. Jace kind of becomes the new Nidalee.
This actually gives them a lot of AD that's kind of needed, because the only source of AD they really have right now is going to be Wei Xiao. So I really like this choice. They do lock it in.
I feel like LGD, you could see that they were thinking about this through picks and bans. They're, okay, what does Ninja like to play? Take away the Lulu. What are his other options? It's going to be the Orianna. We'll kick over to Wayless. He's a good comfort pick for him. And I love the fact that the team, like you said, the composition on World Elite is so balanced. It's not like by picking up Jason to that mid lane that they're overdoing their AD, because now it's Kog'Maw, Jace, Elise, Gragas. So the spread there, like World Elite, very, very smart.
And, you know, even though the first pick was in favor of LGD, it feels like they prioritized a couple of champions really hard, and there was, frankly, no need to do that. As they, you know, at the end, I feel like they let themselves get counterpicked again.
I definitely think that World Elite made it better out of this picks and ban phase. The fact that Wei Xiao got Kog'Maw, Salme again on that Gragas pickup. I like, we talked about the fact that Axion is bringing more CC on the Elise as opposed to Rengar to help out that Kog'Maw. Yeah, Braum, of course, for the protection, and now you have Jace. Not necessarily a Lulu there for the whimsy to help Kog'Maw make those sweet moves, but does have the acceleration gate, so very similar things that he can offer to his team.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's going to have the moves that we saw on the last Kog'Maw that was played in this couple of sets today, but we'll see how well Wei Xiao does on that one. He did a fantastic job on Corki last time. No reason to believe he wouldn't do just as well on this Kog.
Stalling out a little bit. I wonder if the game crashed again, if they're quickly going back to
the look of annoyance on their faces. If this happens the third time, oh well, technical difficulties, our old friend, we meet again.
They got through so far without any sort of technical issues.
No pauses or anything, I know.
To trip right at the end of the gate there.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? League client, please. But looking at the matchups right now, if we do see a lane swap as expected, how do they respond to this on the side of LGD? Because clearly, Jax getting shut down in the early game will delay the power spike by a whole lot, and if World Elite shuts down the game at like 30 minutes or less, then there's no point even to having Jax.
I think they'll definitely see a lane swap. I don't think it's so telling that World Elite will be able to shut down or snowball a game quickly, just because it's really not in their MO. Like I said, I kind of missed the back half of the last game, so I don't know if maybe they're taking a momentum spike, a swing into that, and we could see like a total snowball crush. But traditionally, with World Elite, it's more about, it's a very controlled game. It's much slower paced than we've normally seen from LPL. A lot fewer early game kills. Of course, you know, Wei Xiao ended that last game like 19 kills. I like 19-2 and something ridiculous, but typically like a World Elite game is 0 and 4 in the first 20 minutes, and then things start to explode on the back half of that. And that's literally where Kog'Maw wants to be. Is that also where Jax wants to be? Of course.
It's where Jace wants to be too.
But like I said,
in the back
like
of the fight,
their composition offers them more play styles, more threats, and again, you have that momentum swing. LGD playing on, what do you like to say, the back foot?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Well, we'll see how this goes, because into the late game, both both teams have a pretty solid amount of scaling, but I'm really interested in seeing this mid lane matchup because of Jace versus Orianna, definitely giving that one over to Ninja right now. And I think this is a champion he can work well with. I love the unconventional picks that we're seeing on the 410 patch now.
I definitely think Orianna has this in the early game, although Jace's level 1 is really scary.
They actually, speaking of level 1, they actually could go for an invade on this.
Oh yeah, Braum level 1, incredibly potent. Jace level 1, like we said, absolutely terrifying. The fact that he has the shock blast available to him, turns to hammer form, and gets the passive on hammer form with his second
Jace,
attack.
power slam.
Power slam.
By the way, I love the Easter eggs they throw into this. Did you know that, like, stop fighting. I want to talk about a point, guys. XQ and Wei Zhao are going to duke it out in this bot side. 17 waiting for Salme in the top. And the line of scrimmage is a little bit wonky, actually. Yeah, it is a 2v2, so this is going to be normal. And World Elite instigating the 2v2 this time when they really could have done an easy lane swap. It shows you how confident they are, but is that confidence a bit misplaced?
I mean, typically the answer will always be lane swap if you have a losing matchup. Lucian, kind of the king of the solo lane or excuse me, not the solo lane, of the bot lane, has been for a very long time. A lot of kill presence on Thresh right there, has the Ignite available to him. So, like you said, this is absolute cockiness coming out from World Elite. Like, you have to think, if they did the lane swap, easy lane for Wei Zhao, they would help shut down Jax. So
okay, so they are doing it now.
Okay,
it was delayed, but yeah, it looked for a moment that they were going to let the 2v2 start out. So everyone was just... I think what they did is they wanted to send it bot, like, in anticipating the reverse. So I don't know. I don't know here. It's a delayed invade. It's happening. So here we go. Salme and Axine and Wei Zhao are all moving in, as well as Conan on the backside. And they're looking to contest this. It will be a level 1 fight. But I think LGD going to give this one up. This is the respect playing in. They know that they can just grab a slice of this pie in the jungle without any contest because LGD simply are too afraid of World Elite at level 1.
now the answer is, does Conan return and stay with Wei Zhao in the top lane, or is he going to do the roam, follow around Axine and Salme when they look for those ganks in the mid lane?
Yeah, Jungle Buddy system engage right now is it's going to be one of those games where the jungle is split in half and the lanes don't really matter for a first minute. Only the mid laner is actually going to be able to duke it out. PYL and XQ trying to get as much farm as they possibly can on the spot side. Meanwhile, up in the top, Conan and Wei Zhao are uncontested for the time being. So it means we have a couple of minutes of probable non-action, sort of a non-aggression pact being signed by both players as buffs are kind of taken left and right.
They have a defensive trinket, though, on the side, so they see LGD right now going for this blue buff. Doesn't look like it's going to contest at all. Obviously, they don't have the numbers on the bottom side of the map, but
Conan actually backed away here. He's giving Wei Zhao a little bit more experience as he maneuvers into the bot side, and that means that we should probably see Salme, once he finishes backing, move towards the bot, and they do this sort of two-man defense. However, you have Shuan and 17 moving in position for this tower, and they look like they might want to four-man it.
It's going to time with a teleport, though, so...
Yeah, Salme's in the thick of it right now.
Technically, even numbers with the tower. Looks like LGD is going to back off here. Look at a very early dragon. See if they can juggle the aggro effectively enough. They have the Counter-Strike available to them. They have the traditional aggro juggle. There they go.
That was actually a nice move by LGD because they realized this tower was not really pushable at the moment. So they just go for the dragon. It's worth more gold, early levels, however. They can't quite get the damage out. Now Conan and Axie and Salme here. This is a really bad move. The dragon does go down, but Shuan now, he's caught up. 17 as well. That's a flash out of the pit. They only get one for that. And actually, I think LGD has to count themselves lucky.
Definitely, that could have turned sour really quickly, but Ninja...
Yeah, they might gonna lose more of this. Whoa, way less. He gets a shield off, but he does way less damage than Ninja at level 1.
I feel like Ninja mechanically misstepped right there. I think he could have killed him in the time that it took the E to travel with another auto attack. Not quite sure.
Well, PYL going to get caught up in the thick of things. He gets bursted down before he can really do a whole lot of anything. The exhaust goes down onto XQ, but now 17 in the action. And Axie, they're looking to target him out. Salme as well. They can't quite get in position to do it, though. Nice disengage by World Elite.
World Elite with the drive-by to pick up a free kill. Nice reposition from Axine. He was looking to continue to fight that too.
Oh my goodness. XQ way too far forward, but 17 now, turning it around, turning the heat onto Salme. He's looking for those double buffs. He'll have to settle for Conan though, and only a little bit of damage comes out. The barrel toss at the end of it to finish the disengage. They cannot touch World Elite.
That is the facial hair bot lane. Gragas and Braum right there.
Serious mustache action. And beards.
Good aggression on the turnaround there, but
yeah.
I love the drive-by from World Elite. I can't believe LGD didn't see that coming. They knew that they were around the mid lane area, didn't have any vision on them. Pushed way too far forward and got burned by it.
Yeah, that was just a mistake. And LGD, they seem to have been very, very cautious in the early game, but when they see blood, they go for it. And it seems like World Elite waits for that and baits it out and then says, okay, we're going to turn around for you. To their credit, LGD nearly picked a kill, but there's just way too much disengage on the side of World Elite for them to be able to break through the wall. That is Gragas, and that is Axine and Braum. And just,
the mustache wall?
Yeah, the mustache wall was way too strong there. Oh, Chame going to get locked up. PYL and XQ doing work, but he's going to dash away. You can't touch this.
At this moment, we are going to see Conan actually return to the top lane to help out the little Caterpillar up there. 41 to 47
yeah, I forgot about
CS.
that. Forgot about that little Kog'Maw in the top lane, so he's been happily farming away in the meanwhile, but
he doesn't
he'll
really
have to deal with 17.
a big CS lead, though. So now
he does over 17.
Oh, well, definitely over
over really
Jax,
but as much right now.
Against his lane opponent. He does have a little bit of an experience advantage there. Right now, level 5. I can't tell. Is that Lucian? Does he actually have level 6?
At this point, I cannot tell either. But
I swear that it's level 5.
It's about
6.
6.5. Yeah, it's pretty close. But the difference is Wei Zhao has been completely uncontested. The fact that he hasn't built up a more sizable lead is really telling at how good XQ has been at picking up farm. But meanwhile, Xuan in the mid trying to duke it out with Ninja. The shockwave will go down, forcing the flash away. So Ninja stays safe in this mid, and yeah, staying alive with those jukes.
Very nice flash. And now Conan looking for that roam Braum. Not going to go ahead and babysit Wei Zhao in the top lane, is instead looking to get involved with this team. Pings go down, so is going to get spotted out here.
Yeah, Wayless now jumped out by Axine, and he instantly repels away, so abort mission as they continue to try and find little holes and poke advantages in the defenses of LGD.
Taking small advantages where they can get them.
Yeah, just a couple. Why not, right? So now 17 looking... He might get dove on this one. Wei Zhao and Conan looking for him, but he actually gets a nice leap strike away, and that forces them back, waiting for the engage to happen. Wei Zhao takes a couple of tower shots, but he's okay with it. Look at the level difference. The roaming Braum, level 3, level 6 Kog'Maw. This is the kind of crazy thing that happens when you have this jungle buddy reverse. And Xuan, whoa, buddy, you're a little low there. Got to get that smite off before you get completely demolished by the red buff.
Speaking of demolish, Axine coming in for the gank is gonna immediately turn. He's like, maybe I don't want this one. Turns right back around. It's like when Olaf
Spidey
comes
senses tingling.
to gank your lane. He walks out of the bush, he throws an axe, misses, and just walks back to the jungle. My job's done here.
Yep, I helped. I did things, guys. Okay, so Wayless is a very scary threat in this mid lane, very clearly, but Ninja has been able to duke it out with him pretty well. However, he is losing in farm, but you mentioned the Orianna early game, a little bit stronger. Jace having to sit on the tier right now, not able to turn into a Manamune just yet. So here we go, 17 PYL having a little buddy system of their own in the top side. Wei Zhao, though, level 7 to the 5 and 4 of 17 and PYL. This is a dangerous place for them to be. And Wei Zhao, though he doesn't have any kills yet, he's still ticking towards that late game.
And this is literally exactly where Kog'Maw wants to be. He wants to bypass his weak lane phase. Jace definitely going to get a big power spike there. Picking up that blue buff allows him to spam. The bigger issue, though, for Ninja in that mid lane is the fact that he went tier first, which got some recent buffs, which really helps kind of bring back the viability of Jace again. We talk about how it's combination of tier being changed up, Nidalee being changed up, that Jace now kind of solidifies his spot in that niche pick. As far as the poke composition is concerned. That said, tier doesn't have any battle stats on it, so Jace is literally relying on his levels right now to be his power, as opposed to his actual battle stats from items.
Mm-hmm. And can we talk a little bit about Wei Zhao's item choices early? He went for the early Phage, which struck me as a little bit odd considering how much of a train wreck has been going on in this top lane.
The reason why Trinity, and of course the first tower now falling for LGD, that tower shred burn from Lucian there. the rush from Trinity is literally what you see right now. Wei Xiao needs or Kog'Maw needs the Trinity, the Phage passive, to be kind of viable, especially
He
against
also
like a
needs
Lucian.
kills. Conan getting locked up, gonna burn his heal, and he gets a lantern to safety. Good guy PYL, but they're not done chasing. Wei Xiao has the living artillery, and it ends up being Conan mopping the kill up on a flash.
Misses the R, good guy Conan. Saved his flash until the very last second when he knew his little carry wasn't going to get it, comes through big there, so...
Yeah, and now Dragon's up, too. This is going to be a pretty big move for World Elite. I don't know if LGD can contest this. They don't have an 80 carry. Okay, maybe they can jump over and get a smite steal. This is going to be all on Shuon, and I don't know if he's going to want it. I think they might give this one up. Oh, he's going to go for it. Nope, doesn't get it. I'm in. I'm out. Leaves a flag behind, though. Says, I claim this pit in the name of Jarvan.
He drives it in and out, Burger.
Demacia! That happened. So, meanwhile, Xiaomei and 17 continuing to trade. Now the level's pretty much evening out. If they don't start harassing 17, though, he's going to start making a comeback. Yeah, he's down in farm now. However, he's getting it delivered right to his tower. And Xiaomei is doing his best to poke him out, but he's still got half a tower to wade through before it becomes a free farm lane.
You see where Wei Xiao is right now on the map?
Yeah,
that's exactly where 17
getting
wants
free
to be.
farm, for sure.
They pretty much switched him out of the lane. As soon as a free farm lane was opened up, they're like, okay, free farm lane goes to Kog'Maw, move him over there. They're fine waiting this out. They have ooh, that flash.
That nearly turned into an engagement there, but yeah, flash being spent. Now Shuon with 17 in the top. Xiaomei looking to dive on him with Conan, and they'll disengage it for just a moment.
The anti-siege from Jace right now with that blue buff has the tier, now has his brutalizer. He's able to sit there, like, the fact that Ninja can soak up 3 resources of LGD in that mid lane for free to allow Wei Xiao to do whatever he wants in the spot lane. Has to be careful. PYL, XQ making the rotation down there. Does have some backup from Axion in the wings.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay with that one, though. So far in the game, 3 kills to none. It's a tower, although it's in favor of LGD right now. And the gold lead is not really huge. It's 2,000 just about in favor of World Lead, thanks to a couple of kills in the early dragon that they managed to pick up. Well, two dragons, excuse me. But right now, the pressure is in World Lead's favor. They're able to shove this one forward. And LGD, they don't look as bad as they did maybe about the same time in the last game, but they've yet to really take a clear advantage or an engage in their favor. Now Wei Xiao looking to chase forward down to XQ. Will he be able to get him? Conan, a little bit late to the party, gets a jump there, and he misses the Q. Few L's there, though.
Look at the coordination, though, between Wei Xiao and Conan to realize that Conan's in the wings. He's going to use his stand behind me to close the gap. So Wei Xiao makes the correct call to hug the wall. They're giving him the free leap. That just fantastic coordination. Like, you don't really see that kind of caliber of thought process going on in a lot of the other regions. So very nice to see that. Going back to the larger context of the game, though. World Elite. This is exactly what they want. This is the game that they're going to play, and I can't believe LGD is just letting them get away with it. Yes, they do have tools late game. You have Orianna scales fantastically. It looks like it's going to be that eye-edge Lucian build, so XQ looking to go the long run with Lucian this time around. Jax, of course, but Wei Xiao's performance on Kog'Maw, his performance on Corki late game, I don't know if they want to play with this. Playing with fire.
Yeah, this is a pretty dangerous maneuver, and I think they might be putting a lot onto 17's back here. PYL now joining him in the top lane along with XQ. See if they can get some damage onto Xiaomei, but he's been able to sustain up through this and more. So Conan also here, waiting in the wings, see if they take a counter engage on the tower dive. Don't know if they'll go for it. Now they see Axion revealing himself as well. So tower going to get poked out, but they kind of find 17, and all of a sudden half his health is gone. He takes a hasty lantern out, but he gets knocked up, and they're still looking for the chase. Xiaomei tanking a lot of aggro from XQ and PYL, and I don't know if they can turn this one around, though. The Ignite goes down. Xiaomei survives through it all, and they look locking up XQ, but they can't follow through. No kills once again. And how safe have these engages really been, despite looking very deadly?
Well, look
for
at
either team.
The amount of CC and tank line. Like, that's literally World Elite's tank line. You have Braum, you have Elise, you have Gragas against... Ooh, here comes the teleport.
Xiaomei not afraid to spend that as fast as he can. And, well, Ninja going to poke out a ward in the mid lane. But, yeah, everybody's just trying to find a slight advantage on the other with these rotations and just see if they can pick a kill. So far, LGD's efforts haven't really panned out. Xiaomei, he's just taking the shots to the face, laughing it off and drinking it off, I suppose. They're not afraid of this LGD team at all.
Well, and that's what I was going to go back to. That was Lucian, Jax, and pretty much your hard engaged Thresh right there. So you have the two big carries on the side of LGD, and they couldn't do anything. It wasn't like the Ninja or Wei Xiao were involved in that fight for World Elite. That was literally just the tank line, and they won.
Yeah, so far so good for World Elite as they continue to show not overt dominance, but definitely more confidence than LGD in this game. Mid lane, meanwhile, continues to trade back and forth, but the real story is this farm in the top lane. Jax has had to go down bot now as he's been completely zoned away from really getting a whole lot more by Xiaomei. Continuing his early lane. Whoop, the pull's going to come in. I don't know if PYL wants to follow this one up, though. Tower looking to get taken out pretty soon, but Xiaomei is just fine with that. They've managed to hang on for quite a long time, and there is no way in hell that 17 can duel it out with Wei Xiao at this point.
This tower means a little bit more for World Elite, however, just because the first one falling isn't such a big deal because it opens up the farm lane. If this one were to fall, it would open up a lot more options for LGD, as far as 17 getting him involved and getting him a safe lane. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a harder fight for World Elite here to keep this tower up. Have to be careful, though, because Dragon is going to spawn in 40 seconds.
The team's definitely motioning towards that bot side, say, hey guys, things are happening right now. So PYL, XT going to back away. They didn't quite get the tower, and there's no cooldown, or there's still a cooldown on teleport for Xiaomei, so if they want to really contest this in a 5-man, they have to make the fat man hustle down there. Shuan and Axine pursuing him. Now they'll just take out the ward just for now. So the Dragon will be up in about 15 seconds. But the question is, do LGD contest this one? They definitely have to, but they don't seem to be mobilizing for it. Right now, Wayless is backing. He's back at Fountain. And this Dragon is about to come up. I don't know, World Elite definitely looking stronger to take this engage, and they're just going to straight up start it up.
Probably the most unfortunate back timing from Wayless as they start to pull this Dragon. It should go completely uncontested.
Shuan could get the steal again. He's going to try to troll in there. Nope. Just pokes it and gets taken down. Yeah, I cannot believe LGD has not contested a couple of Dragons. PYL nearly gets knocked back, but the barrel just knocks him into the wall instead. So World Elite takes themselves another Dragon, this time completely for free. Maybe there was an assist for Shuan, but assists don't count in Dragons.
He threw his flag too early, but the issue is that they didn't have the vision there, so he had to expend his one cooldown that would try to steal the Dragon. Just to get vision
that was all
it.
in Wayless. He should not have backed right then. There was no way they could contest it without him.
Well, Wayless went back, yes, like you said, that was a terrible back, but PYL should have made the rotation then to at least either offer Lantern assistance through trying to steal the Dragon, or at least vision assistance with the Lantern, so the flag and Dragon wouldn't have to be burned. Either way, it was a pretty questionable call from LGD, showing a lot of disorganization here.
Yeah, they just seem like a team that's just lost, and I feel like they're still reeling from that last game, and you know, sometimes going on tilt can carry over quite a bit, so LGD not looking so hot. And right now, World Elite in the driver's seat, even though they're not overtly leading, and they're definitely down in towers, maybe about to be by 2. They still are just out-rotating in general and finding these situations where they can take the objective, stalling it out to late game, realizing that they do have a pretty solid late game comp, despite 17 on the Jax pickup.
Look at this Kog'Maw, Wei Xiao going so aggressive on Jax. You would never think that you would hear that.
Yeah, that is kind of an odd sentence to utter, but it is Wei Xiao, so he's just coming off of probably his best game of the split, and he really is rocking some Kog'Maw. No, not so much blue suede shoes this time, but definitely chasing down the boots. They're made for walking, and he's definitely pushing forward onto 17, who really can't do anything about this in the bot lane. Meanwhile, pretty big roam from LGD around the side, and they're actually going to get a catch-up on a Ninja. Here's the engage they're looking for. They get the lock-up, and the Jarvan ult's going to come in. They take him down, but a teleport is already down, and Axine scattered from the rest of his team. Xiaomei making moves on that mid, but the ball comes in. It's huge. Xiaomei going to get bursted down, and the Ignite ticks away at his health bar. Takes him down. Conan now has to run away from this one, and the third tower of the game goes in favor of LGD. All of a sudden, they turn up the gas, and they find themselves 3 kills and a turret.
LGG's power and the bright spot for them in this game have been the rotations for the structural objectives. We keep talking about how World Elite has set the pace of the game, they've slowed it down, they're playing the game that they want. LGD just came out huge right there, said, you know, enough is enough, let's utilize our ultimates, a fantastic shockwave, a fantastic cataclysm, and can we talk about that hook from PYL right there?
Yeah, that was some Hook City. We get to see it again right now. So PYL waiting in the Wraith camp, and he gets Ninja on a big hook. The ball comes in, and they don't even decide to use the ults. They're like, hey, we gotta wait, we can wait a minute for this. Everyone gets bursted down. Conan and Xiaomei trying to cause havoc, but they don't have the follow-up damage. Axine is not in there. And then when they wander together, boom, there's the shockwave. Xiaomei, he realizes he's in in a bad spot, tries to run away. The Ignite takes his health bar down. Conan barely lives, but then again, he's Braum. You can't really take that guy down. But what a masterful play by LGD to mop the kills up. And all of a sudden, they're right back in this game, only 1,000 down in gold.
Even bigger was the fact that obviously 17 wasn't involved in that fight, had the teleport available to him, but technically World Elite is doing a 4-1 push with Wei Xiao in that side lane without the teleport. If that were to happen again, ooh, shockwaves.
Yep. And PYL, he hooks a Braum, but realizes that's not exactly what you want, so backs off that one. Yeah, it is weird that they're sending Wei Xiao for the split push. Some teams still favor to do this when they, you know, maybe when they have more supporting style AD carries, the kinds that, you know, have escape mechanisms. Kog'Maw, not one of those champions, so a bit of a questionable decision. Maybe a little bit of arrogance on the side of World Elite.
If that continues into the late game, they could really get burned with it, because 17, there's no way for Kog'Maw to stop 17's
eventual
teleport.
Jack.
Exactly. Well, not even just the eventual Jacks. Yes, that's going to be a scary thing, because obviously they're not saying that, you know, send Wei Xiao down there for the split push. They're just, oh, we need to allow him to have that farm to read up. And LG is like, well, while they're vulnerable with Wei Xiao in that bot lane, let's go ahead and make moves. If they continue this, though, they're going to get burned big time. So now
and they find Axie too. Oh, no follow-up, but way less. He might get bursted. The Lantern takes it back in time. This is like the grabs for your own team and for the enemy team. It's been so big, and PYL rocking this stretch, but it looks like the first tower of the game might go down. Shuan trying to distract and make something happen. Your tower is going to fall. Can't really get anything out. 17 now in the picture, and it looks like he's getting chunked down, and he'll get bursted down. Conan taking the kill on that one. It's a 1 for none so far. Blinking health bars on the side of LGD, and they decide maybe they don't want to take that engage after all.
Complete turnaround from the last team fight. Pretty much opposite. This time XQ caught on the wings. Oh, good lantern.
PYL has been saving lives this game. Oh, Shockwave gonna land. Maybe they want to take this invade. Xiaomei now caught up, but he's gonna get the bursted Shuan. He's gonna go down. Xiaomei taking it all up. The fat will burn though as he goes down. XQ now still staying alive, but he falls. Repel going up. The hook doesn't quite land. PYL finds himself without a whole lot of friends. 17 just revives on Fountain, but it is too little too late. World Elite grabs themselves another couple of kills in that one and trades 3 for 1.
XQ way too overzealous on his positioning on the side, gets cut out and pretty much burns his entire team to the ground just trying to save his life. A nice reposition with the lantern, but allows Xiaomei to get into the back and cause all kinds of havoc. These casks so on point.
Yeah, big time for Xiaomei, and he stays alive through most of that in order to sustain through the fight. And you know, he's going the more tanky Gragas build, so it, you know, starting the Frozen Heart definitely helps. If they want to focus him, they have to put a lot more damage to keep him down. Meanwhile, on the back line, they have so much poke available in the form of Wei Xiao and Ninja. Even Conan is dishing out the damage. He's picked up 2 kills this game, and entirely deserved. One of them, you know, Wei Xiao wasn't able to finish up. The other one, that was all Braum.
Even Conan getting involved with the kills. We do have a pause going out, so some technical issues. I wanted to talk about Xiaomei's Gragas build. I like that you brought it up. I think it very much suits to what World Elite needs him, and I think it really speaks to how powerful of a pick Gragas is in the current meta, the fact that he has so much versatility to him and gives so many different play styles and flavors to teams. It's not often in League of Legends that a champion really allows a player to kind of shine in their playstyle for their team. Typically, you know, you think about like meta picks, although we've had some pretty off meta picks today. But you know, think NA, EU, even Korea. It's you pick these champions as these 10 champions are played. They build these items because they're the most cost-effective for battle stats in the games, and there's no real wiggle room there. I like the flavor that Gragas is bringing to the scene.
Yeah, I think it really helps as a flex pick as well. It's sort of like this Lulu band. All right, no problem. We got the fat man. And I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that they start picking him up as a support as well. It'll just lend that much more, well, what is he going to do when you pick the Gragas? I mean, he has been so instrumental in these kills so far, and it's all been through the displacement and the fact that he sustains through it all. But hey, we're back in the game. World Elite mops up that last tower, so 3 to 4. LGD still maintains a slim tower lead, but they're down in gold. Haven't been able to control the neutral objectives, and they haven't been able to follow these kills up. They could have had a couple more, but they got bursted down too fast.
Issue, though, World Elite, take a look across them on their gold. So, Wei Xiao, 0, 0, and 5.
They have done a good job making sure the Cog does not get fed. I will give that to LGD.
Not fed, but still sitting on his Trinity, has his Cutlass complete. Has a pickaxe there.
Whoa. LGD starting a Baron right now. Xiaomei says, what are you guys doing? And this is going to prompt a swift evacuation as the ward scares them off. And that was way too overconfident on the side of LGD, I think.
Well, you have to think Desperation Baron. They know that World Elite just backed.
But are they really that desperate at this point? I mean, yes, they took a bad engagement, but now they're giving up this dragon on the basis of the fact that they just weren't in position for it and they didn't have the health bars. Another free dragon goes over to World Elite. Now they're separated. This is just, they gave up so much for that. Whoa, the barrel comes out. If the flash hadn't landed in time, PYL now would have been bursted down by World Elite. And this is just their game to lose. They have not really done a good job at counter-rotating, and now it is going to be World Elite that's going to be clearing out wards in the Baron pit. And I don't think they'll start this one, but they're definitely controlling the map a lot better than LGD is.
Pings are going for the base race, though. LGD's recognizing, hey, if they're going to swing over to Baron, play the vision game with us, perhaps make a swing top for that first-tier tower, we can race them up mid and either force an engagement or punish them for an incorrect decision here.
It seems like it's half-baked, though. They have both the top laners and alternate lanes just farming away happily, but hanging around on the outside. Now, this favors World Elite, as Gragas could get to the team a lot quicker. Teleports are up only on the side of World Elite, and it looks like the base will start to be raced down, but World Elite calls the bluff. This could be a pincer for LGD. If they can get this tower down in time, they might be able to get it. No, they're going to try to beat a hasty retreat out. Xiaomei uses his teleport, tries to spend that. Whoa, XQ! He gets bursted out, and there's Conan's ultimate coming out. And I cannot believe the health bars are melting so fast as Ninja will take the first kill. It's onto XQ. They follow up onto PYL. Ninja's going to get followed up onto 17, though, and they are turning it around. But is it too little, too late? The barrel's going to burst him backwards. 17's going to fall. It's only way less, and he has no health bar. He might have gone back in a little bit too soon, and the Living Artillery misses. Can World Elite follow this one up? Wei Xiao wants to finish this. He wants this ace, but he won't get it. They're going to have to settle for getting only 4 for 2, but that is still a great engagement for World Elite, and they're now up 5,000 gold. Baron? We don't need the Baron.
Only 4 for 2 right there. LGD tries to call the bluff on World Elite's Baron call, forces it up through mid, quickly decides it's a bad decision, overreaches and gets smashed for it. Wei Xiao coming up here. Look at this Brommel from Conan here.
It's huge. It doesn't land on XQ, yes, but his health bar's already down to half, and he sticks around. He tries to cold collect, but they can't quite do it. Ninja just comes in, helps polish him off with the help of Jace. 17 now dukes it out with Ninja. Meanwhile, Wayless has no friends in the area as everybody melted, and then they just chase him down. The barrel comes in for the separation. Xiaomei says, I don't think so. Bye-bye, Jackson. Wayless, he almost makes a critical error here and gives up the ace, but he does manage to kite away, so credit to that.
The only bright spot there is that LG don't get punished as far as objectives following that close 4 for 2. They don't lose the Baron, they don't lose any towers. It's a huge swing of gold and power into the pocket of World Elite. However, they are running a wombo combo composition. It just takes one fantastic shockwave to decide a fight close to a Baron.
And these fights have all pretty much gone that way. Wow, Xiaomei wants the fight. Way less, going to get knocked away the wrong way with the barrel, but now XQ, he tries to go in for the counter. He's going to force his heal out. Now, Xuan, he's sacrificing for the team. No Lantern available, at least not inside the Jarvan ultimate, so PYL says, sorry, bro. But that could have been a lot worse.
Completely no reason to Jarvan ult right there. Not quite sure what page.
I think he was trying to save XQ.
Actually, this could the Lantern was available.
Yeah, this could be a Baron now for World Elite, as there's no Smite available on the side of LGD. They're going to try to contest this nonetheless, and they're sort of half-heartedly doing it, though. Oh, Jack's going to teleport in. PYL is going to catch Ninja on the outside. Can they burst him down? Wow, he's at almost no health. A big shockwave lands, and now 17 gets a nice stun lock on, but it's still a 4v5, even though, well, now I guess it's a 3v4, but it's getting turned around way too quickly, and way less is finding that he has no way out. Well, the rest of his team has no way out. He might have one. And they're going to stop the Baron, which is what they wanted, but they're going to give up so much more for it. Way less now. He might get caught out here, and Conan and everybody from World Elite is just waiting for the Zanyas to finish up. Xuan goes in for the counter engage, but he's going to get chunked down. No answer, no follow-up. It's an ace, and they only lost Ninja for it. Not a great trade for LGD.
So many different options. The pings are going down for Baron, so it looks like World Elite's going to capitalize on this with the big purple monster, not a tower.
Yeah, and they're pretty happy to take it at this point. Xuan dead again. 17 is up, has no teleport. This is pretty much a no-brainer. They're also sending Ninja up to the top to clear out this wave. No way they can contest this. As low as they are, World Elite is slowly but surely bursting this Baron down. And yeah, it just looks like the game is going more and more in their favor. But wait, they're not quite up to it yet. XQ now sends a Culling out. Conan tries to Unbreakable away from this one, but it's only 2. They do get the Baron, ends up being, excuse me, they don't get the Baron just yet. Now they get it. They take down PYL, and now they're turning on to the rest of LGD, who just clearly are not initiating these fights the way they need to. They did lose Conan and Wei Zhao in the midst of all of that, but they still pick up Baron onto 3 members, so still what they wanted at this point.
LGD didn't have many plays available to them at that time. Yes, it wasn't exactly what they wanted. They spared their lives for it, but they took the Baron off possibly the most important member, Wei Zhao. They picked up the big kill bonus on him. We talked about it like 5 minutes ago. Wei Zhao was 0-0-5. Now I believe he's what, 7-1-10.
What a turnaround! Just a few team fights can make. I mean, and they haven't been able to touch Wei Zhao in most of them. That is his first death ever, and that was mostly because he was trapped inside the Baron pit without a flash.
Doesn't have his BV available to him yet. Is building it now. Can we talk about his boot enchantment that he didn't go home guard? And
no,
he
did the same thing last game actually on with the Fuhrer.
And that really just speaks to the fact that, you know, they're not protecting from their base. I think it's been so standardized that, you know, people go home guard to get off of base to protect your inhibitors, able to cover your towers more effectively, get back into the fray of things. But World Elite spends so much more time kind of walking over enemy bases.
Yep, so they're going to take a tower down in that bot side, and now the tower score just about even out. But LGD trying to find a Fnatic brush camp. They can't quite do it. Xiaomei says, I know what you guys are up to. But now they've left this mid exposed, so World Elite able to turn the gas on here. And if they can burst this one down really quickly, they're actually going to get teleport out of Xiaomei. This tower is falling so fast and Wayless can't defend it. He has to back away from this one. And the inhibitor could go down now just because they were slow to react. Xiaomei getting bursted down, but the Baron buff still keeping him alive. And they do get their first inhibitor of the game. It is World Elite picking that one up at 30 minutes into this one. And the fight is starting. Chuan tries to make something happen. The barrel's going to zone everybody away. PYL now. The box, all walls being bursted down. Xiaomei knocking him down. Big shockwave lands though. And this could be the turnaround of the fight. I don't know if they can follow it up, though. They can't. 17. He's going to melt. Everybody on LGD is dropping like flies. PYL now taken very low. Can't even finish his hook before he goes down. And XQ, the ace, goes down in favor of World Elite. And Ninja picking this one up. And this might be game.
This certainly is going to be game. These death timers are very unforgiving, and the tower shard between Jace and Kog'Maw is absolutely unreal. I feel like Wayless, he's been landing fantastic shockwaves, but it's almost like a bait for his team. He lands a good shockwave, LGD commits, but they don't have enough damage threats across the board. 17 never got off the ground. XQ, his Lucian, doesn't have the items in the bank to do anything, and World Elite just manhandling LGD for that victory. 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, and this time the Penta goes over to Ninja. I mean, they've just been managing this game so well. Both these games incredibly played by World Elite. Wei Zhao, Ninja, everybody on the team just playing at a masterful level, and LG had no answer. Excellent. You let them get jacks, but then you don't let the game go past 35 minutes. So GG well played, 2-0 to World Elite, and they really proved that they belong close to the top of the standings now. They're just behind OMG, and they leapfrogged ahead of Starhorn.
World Elite, with that 2-0 sweep, does solidify their place in second, closing in on that OMG gap closer. So, I mean, we'll see if they're able to carry this momentum against their IEM qualifier game versus IG.
We'll see how it goes down. That, of course, is following up pretty soon, of course, but we're looking at the next matches, and I believe that is the one that they're doing for LPL, or is that the one that's coming up after this?
That is the next week's games.
Okay, cool. Anyways, I think it's a little bit late, or rather early for some people, so from all of us here at LPL, and guys, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking it out with us. I am PiraTechnics, she is Froskurinn, and guys, we will see you next time on the cast.
Oh, Wei Zhao, you cannot nerf him out. And of course, the 4.10 patch definitely showing strong on him. I mean, to come out, what, 4.10 first week in China, he gets a pentakill?
Yeah, I feel like, especially now that there's been a lot of time to figure it out in other regions, China's probably already ready for the 4.10 patch, and at this point, they're just rocking and rolling with it.
They do a lot of prep work. There has been in the past where Chinese will play compositions that aren't necessarily, or patch dependent to a patch coming up, so it wouldn't surprise me if they had taken the time to prep for this. That guy in the background waving. I actually waved back.
2 of them.
I heard that there was a little bit of a Jarvan helping, though, with that pentakill.
Yes, we're going to discuss maybe the MVP for that match should have been Xuan, as it really assisted in that one. And this is the problem. The Jarvan ult is a double-edged lance. You can't always predict who you're going to trap in the pit and how it's going to shake out at the end of the day. And Xuan really miscalculating that one. And to be honest, he didn't stay alive very, very long in most of those engages. Built a lot of damage, and I feel like a definite weak point on LGD that last game.
Yeah, and kind of coming back into form. We talk about Cool a lot, OMG's mid laner, and how it would be so great if Cool would just come back to form like how he was at Worlds. OMG would be so strong, but I feel like Wei Zhao gets overshadowed a little bit for how great he was.
And not Wei Zhao, I mean, yeah, he had some problems for a little while, especially when he was adjusting to shot calling. But I think after that performance, unless he tilts really hard this game, and I can't think of like how that would happen, he is just looking to be so strong. I feel like it's safe to say that Wei Zhao is back.
Well, the momentum is definitely there with him. Picks, since I think we're about to
Corki ban incoming.
Corking ban incoming.
I don't know about that for sure.
Do you think Wei Zhao is going to go back-to-back on Corki, or do you think he's going to mix it up and take the Lucian pick away from XQ? Because so far XQ pretty much found his home on Lucian, and I feel like a big issue with LGD is their champion pools. How easily abused they are. We keep talking about the jungler being abused, not having that Lee Sin, but I think if they focused, like if these bans came across, they could focus the entire team out pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I feel this really goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier with Xuan as well, that if he's not on Lee Sin, he tends to underperform. The fact that Lee Sin was banned out from World Elite. This time around, LGD does have the chance for a first pick, so we'll see if maybe that pick will go through the bans, or if World Elite's going to back-to-back 2-0 that Lee Sin and make sure it never gets off the ground.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty solid job in their bot lane this time. PYL definitely on point with the hooks and doing a good job to defend. But they need to structure the composition a little more around that, and I feel like, yeah, they have to prioritize this Lee Sin pick for Xuan. If they manage to get it this time, be a big boon to them. We've seen a lot of the rest. I feel like the rest of LGD has a bit more of a variety in their champion pools, but World Elite, they have to be feeling so confident after that last play. LGD is not a team that you can take incredibly lightly, but they made them look like, really like, somebody just at the yeah, I was gonna say LSPL, but that, you know, LSPL is actually relatively good. So
World Elite Academy,
or World Elite Academy. It was like a scrim match, right?
Although World Elite Academy has gotten a recent, what we're gonna call it, a level up to the roster, bringing over some Korean.
Oh yeah, we are in the home stretch now, Froskurinn. Are you ready for game number 2? World Elite LGD, oh my god.
I better be ready for it. I hear I missed a pentakill.
You did miss a pentakill. I'm sorry you were indisposed at the time. Wei Zhao is amazing. That was an incredible performance from him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the MVP. In fact, I would expect him to get the MVP for this game. Although what really enabled it actually was, and there he is right there. I mean, look at that, 19, 3, and 7. The pentakill was just the tip of the iceberg for that one. Apparently his Corki play is a little strong, maybe.
talent as the Hail Mary to get them through the last half
Not
of the
the only
split.
team. I mean, Axion has really started to pay off for
Can we
World
talk
Elite
about
right
the,
now.
speaking of Axion, the wording of the last, not just the last game, but the split before that, I feel has been really good. Pretty solid. I think we had one Baron that went completely unwarded that was snuck under the radar, but consistently teams finding those wards in the tri bushes, in the rivers, a few picks that were made with wards.
Yeah, and the weird thing was that Axion sat on a lot of them when he tried to go in the early game, but it really didn't matter because the rest of the lanes on World Elite, you can talk all you want about how the jungler did a great job, but the jungler has a pretty easy time when all the lanes are winning, right?
Of course. We'll see if World Elite decides to stick with their current strategy, obviously moving Ninja off of the carry mid laner and putting him on that utility mid.
That was a great choice this time.
It works so well for them because now that you just saw, and I'm so mad that I missed that pentakill, Wei Xiao has the power to carry. He is a very good AD carry. Always has been the godfather of the AD carry, kind of the modern style, created the modern style which it's now played. Now